Hello, welcome to the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jay. I am joined by Faye today. Hello, Faye.
Hello.
And if you haven't seen the title of the video, because Big Tasty forgot how they work when he berated me on his one, this is Faye's top 10 matches of the year so far for the year 2023. So we've got a little bit of housekeeping to do first. It's basically from the 1st of January to the 30th of June, any matches, and then you can have 5 honourable mentions, and that's just a top 10 list. Nice and easy. How did you find making this list, Faye? Was it stressful?
A little bit, not as stressful as booking the all-in card. So that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got it.
This was more like choosing all of my favorite children.
I found this more stressful because it's been a really good year of wrestling.
Well, I got to that when I got to Vikingo, I kind of had like a mini panic attack. I was like, I don't know which one to choose. But I chose one, so it's okay.
There's an embarrassment of riches of Vikingo matches, so it's fair to get stressed.
All in that space of a week, though.
Not even then. Like some of the stuff he was just doing just randomly on Rampage. Like I nearly had
I
nearly had the match he had with Commander and Drillistico from like, it was like a random episode of Rampage in May. It was like, oh yeah, we're doing this. It's like, right.
But it was very much like that week of like the collective.
Yeah, he was probably a toss up between him and Mike Bailey for MVP of the collective, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on your mood on the day, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, without further ado, then let's get into your honourable mentions.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Kyrie versus Tam Nicarno. Is that how you say her name? Nicarno?
From Wrestle Kingdom.
From Wrestle Kingdom, yeah.
Nice. This was a very fun match. It was very short though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was my first taste of watching Kyrie outside of
like WWE.
Like WWE. And yeah,
I mean, to be fair, Mae Young Classic Kyrie is very similar to.
See, I haven't seen that Kyrie. You've told me to watch it, and I need to go back and watch it.
If you've got like, I wouldn't even say an afternoon because like it's pretty long. Like if you've got like something to throw.
Yeah,
maybe a couple of days off, just throw it on, or if you've got a weekend where you're not like doing anything, just throw it on. But yeah, definitely worth going check out that. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Kyrie and Tam Nicarno.
And even though like I was happy that Mercedes showed up at the end, I think it took a lot away from how good this match was.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it was a very short match.
Yeah, like, I think they could have been allowed more time.
It was about 7-8 minutes, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and it felt like quicker as well. But it was very hard hitting.
Very hard hitting, very fast paced. Yeah. This was my introduction to Tam Nicarno, and I wasn't disappointed.
She was very good, wasn't she?
She was.
I'd like to see her and Willow fight.
Yes, I'd just like to find time to watch more Stardom if I can.
Stardom, yeah.
Haven't watched Willow and Julia the other week.
Yeah,
or the other day, I should say. It was only
I really want to watch Mariah May as well. I keep seeing her on Twitter.
Yes,
and I've heard good things.
Yeah, yeah. So as you say, this match was kind of overshadowed rather by Mercedes debut, which was kind of like the worst kept secret in wrestling.
Yeah.
Certainly the worst kept debut since like CM Punk's debut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it was a very fun match. Extremely hard hitting. And
I think that's why I liked it. I love it when like they're just allowed to fucking go, like instead of them like holding back a bit with each other. I think that's why I like Jamie Hayter's matches so much. And Athena's.
Yeah, I think Kyrie's like just has very little regard for her own well-being anyway. So
yeah, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, when you see her do crazy shit in a match, you always know it's always know it's like going to be a fun one when you see it come out.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so anything else you'd like to add to that, or
No, I think that's
all the
all I've
bases?
got for that. Yeah.
Fair enough. What's next then?
The Rainbow Rumble at Effie's Big Gay Brunch UK.
Yeah, this very, very nearly made my list.
This
Very,
I love a
very
rumble
nearly.
anyway, but this had everything that I could have wanted out of a rumble.
Yeah, the fact that it started with the sing along of My Sacrifice.
Yeah,
Um,
and the pop from that was amazing. Me
yeah,
and Nat were talking about that the other day.
yeah. It was just one of the most fun. Like it might be the most fun actually I've had watching a match live all year.
Yeah,
Because it was just like it was a fun rumble, but it was also just like a big party, and it
and
introduced
also
so many
it
new
was
wrestlers.
it was also like, what if we just put all of Faye's faves in a match? So I got like Harley, I got Tony Wright, I even got like Benjamin Hartland from Act Two,
Yeah,
which was
Prince Pell as
wonderful.
well was
Prince
awesome.
Pele, that was my first time seeing Prince Pele. I loved it.
Same. I,
Um,
I I tweeted out from our Twitter when our Prince Pele appreciation podcast.
yeah,
Um, which
absolutely. He
yeah,
was great. He has a really good show in at Infamous as well. Um, but there's that. But also, Steen was also great in that because he came out with full vampire fangs.
Aiton was so over from this match.
It's
It warmed my heart because I love Aiton. Um, Especially obviously coming out to Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
the
Um,
best. It's
it, it
always the
always
best.
it always gives me a massive pop. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, this was great. Um,
And he actually
it
bit someone as well in the
it did,
match.
and that got a massive pop. Um, yeah, if anyone wants to go find this, it's on Demand Progress, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, it's probably worth like this, and I imagine Faye's going to have at least one or two more matches that you might be able to find on there.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But they'd be worth
The
the
free
subscription
trial.
alone, or
You
free trial. Yeah,
get a 14-day free trial, but to be fair, there's so much stuff on there now that's actually worth the prescription. Like, because you've got that and you've
TNT's
got
on there, which is
Infamous.
like an Infamous. Which I mean, a lot of the time, we're lucky enough we can manage to get to the shows, but it's good to know it's there if we can't.
Yeah, yeah,
If instead of us like missing like what's going on,
yeah,
walking
absolutely.
into TNT like months away from any knowing what's happened and it being like a lawless hellscape and Crowley's champion. Imagine
Yeah,
that.
that's imagine if
Imagine
that was a thing.
imagine if you went to a TNT show thinking, oh yeah, Dan Maloney's going to defend the belt, and then everything's on fire and covered in jizz. Charles Crowley's like doing sex moves on
Literally,
everyone.
it's that would send my head
And
west.
like that tweet he sent last night out. Oh God.
That I
Um,
cursed you all with.
yeah, but yeah, importantly back to the Rainbow Rumble. This was really, really fun.
Yeah,
I discovered um a lot of wrestlers that I'd never heard of before, who I'm now a huge fan of.
yeah, same. And
And
Stephanie Sterling was like Tom's favorite thing in the world. Tom
yeah,
adores Stephanie Sterling, so that
we,
was
we
a
did
thing.
also get Paro coming out and doing crimes on people, like bonus
And
Paro.
getting eliminated by our Harley.
Yes. I was speaking to her after the match, and she just went to me, the big fucker, isn't he?
I love Harley Hudson.
Oh, she's
I love her
great.
so much.
She is great. Okay, have you got anything to add to the Rainbow Rumble, or are you happy to move
I
on?
love Tony Wright. He's
Oh yeah,
great.
we all love Tony Wright.
Just
Tony
leaving that
Wright's
in there. It's important.
yes. Tony Wright is for the children.
It
Um,
is. Yeah. Next I have Eddie Kingston versus Jay White. Loser leaves New Japan match. In battle for the New Japan Strong Battle for the Valley.
Yeah, this was fun, wasn't it?
Oh my God. I was in like some sort of fever dream state anyway, because I'd been to the 1PW show earlier that day. And I did the thing where I woke up from a nap and woke up just in time for this match. So like, yeah. But it was so good. Oh my God. Eddie Kingston fucking slapped every taste that Jay White ever had in his mouth ever out.
Jay White was such a little shit in this match.
Yeah, he was.
The build up to this was tremendous as well.
Yeah, the promos where Eddie was like calling into the show. Or was it Jay calling into Eddie's
Jay
show?
calling into a podcast that Eddie was like a guest on. It was like Wrestling Observer, maybe.
Oh my God.
Jay was just calling in, like just giving Eddie shit, and Eddie was just getting genuinely annoyed.
It was so good. It was perfect.
Yeah, I've never seen Eddie just hurricane a guy so much.
Yeah, it was a crime.
And then still hit him with something else.
Yeah. Jay White did not go down easy as well, though. Like,
no.
Jay White can take a beating.
He can. He's just such a little shit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's perfect.
He's just a little knobhead, and that's why he's so great.
He's just a wet rat man, angry rat man. That's what he is. And I love him.
Yeah, this is really hard hitting.
Felt like a big victory for Eddie as well.
Yeah, it felt like a really important match for Eddie. It feels like Eddie's current run in New Japan is because of this match.
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? Like he's proved himself now, and everyone's like,
that was like his like sort of tryout.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like if you murder Jay White, we'll put you in the G1. He's like, okay, I can do that.
Yeah, right.
If
you can punish Jay White for leaving,
that bit where Jay White just like spat on him and he just like punched shit out of him.
Genuine disrespect, wasn't it?
I didn't know if that was like shoot or not because Eddie looked so angry.
I think Eddie forgets what's kayfabe when he's in the ring and what isn't. He just takes everything as a personal insult.
Yeah. It was like that match he had with Kenta the other week or last week as well, where Kenta was hitting the shit out, just like slapping fuck out of him, and he was just like, "I'm gonna kill you."
Yeah.
You're really fucking up here, Kenta.
Yeah.
This was a tremendous match. I really enjoyed it.
For my next honourable mention, I have Billy and Ostrich, Will Osprey, versus Robbie X at the 1PW No Turning Back show.
That's fitting.
Yeah. Oh my God, this match felt massive. Like,
I haven't seen it.
Huge. It's on Fight Plus now.
I'm aware. I
haven't got time.
I still haven't seen. Well, spoiler alert for what I'm watching after we record this. While I edit it, is a GCW show from Saturday.
Yeah, I still need to watch Backyard Wrestling, to be honest.
I watched that last night. It was fun.
Okay. But yeah, this match was massive. And you thought with how big
Robbie X's hometown, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it was like they're both starting promotion as well, I think.
Oh really? I didn't know Osprey
started. Well, like it felt like this is what it was, like one of his like first promotions that he worked in.
Yeah.
So it was like it felt like a big homecoming for both of them. But the thing is that you thought with Will Osprey being Will Osprey, he'd have this massive reception and everybody would be on side, and it just wasn't like that. So Will had to sort of like be heel a bit because everyone was like absolutely hot on Robbie X, which is rightly deserved because as much as he doesn't exist, he is fantastic. but yeah, like just a lot of like reversals of like Osprey's moves and stuff like that, and like Robbie X just getting up after all of everything that like he threw at him, like all of his finishes, he kicked out of like the Stormbreaker, everything. And it was the hidden blade, and like Robbie X like fucking sold it, like he was turned inside out by it. It was amazing. But yeah, they're just so crazy fast. There was a lot of like them both getting up on the feet and stuff like that, like into flips and stuff. So it was just really impressive.
I think an argument needs to be made that Robbie X should be in Best of the Super Juniors at some point.
Oh my God, I would love that.
I thought he was going to be this year because he was on a New Japan show earlier in the
but
year.
then they got Driller.
He did get Driller.
See how well that's gone for them.
Yeah, now he's trying to destroy the company from within. With the man who's seen all of the ghosts.
Yeah, all of the ghosts.
And the bastard son of Woody Harrelson and Hangman Page.
Yeah, that the sort of evil cowboy experiment, but it's okay.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. I will make time to check this match out.
Please do. It was phenomenal. And Matthew, for like the entire week afterwards, just sort of still had like this disbelief that he's actually seen the match. And he'd just turn around to me sometimes and be like, we saw Will Osprey and Robbie X fight for like the week. And I'd be like, yeah, no. He'd be like, oh my God. He was just genuinely like dumbfounded by it all, which was great.
Has he seen Forbidden Door yet?
No, but he's been walking around town with me yesterday shouting amateurs in my ear. So thank you for that.
I can't wait for him to finally watch Forbidden Door so you can play him that voice note I left on your messenger.
Oh God, I hate you so much.
On that note, what's your final?
My last honor. It's the winner gets the 30 spot in the Rumble. At Wrestle Island, Cobra Island, I believe. Yeah. That entire show was fantastic. Anyway, lots of things happened, but this, like, it had like both Tommy Jackson and Casey Payne and Tony Wright and everything.
The mini Rumble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to remember what it was because I was here. That was my first Wrestle Island show.
Yeah. So it was like first person who got eliminated was number 1.
Yeah.
Last person who got eliminated was number 30. And even though it was like the most shithouse finish I've ever seen in my life.
VGS though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was the boys, but like there was this fantastic moment of, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Like, it felt really tense and massive. But
there was that really cool spot where they like teased that like Tommy was like gonna like big league Casey and go on, I'm the leader, get out.
Yeah.
And then when Tommy eliminated himself, it was just awesome.
So good.
Because as well, like Casey was like, I've worked my ass off to get here, and you're gonna try and stop me. I was like, oh fuck, he's gonna turn on me and kill him.
Yeah, that's what it was like, wasn't it? It was so thrilling.
I genuinely thought VGS were gonna split up at that point. I was like, I had devastated. I was like, oh my God, don't do me like this.
Yeah, because that was like your first time properly seeing VGS, wasn't it? Like
I'd seen KC before.
Yeah.
And I want to say I'd seen Christy somewhere before, but I hadn't seen Tommy or Pud. Yeah. Pud wasn't VGS then. Pud.
Wow. Simpler times.
Pud was 3G VGS Pud.
Oh, sweet baby Pud.
And now I'm an honorary member.
Yeah. Thanks for rubbing that in. Like, I don't get that enough from Matthew, like on the weekly. But yeah, that is my honourable mentions.
Awesome. I can't remember if I know the whole show for Cobra Island has got a link on it. I can't remember if just that match has on the YouTube. So I'll probably
It
just
probably does, to be
I'll
fair.
probably just throw the whole show up there because you should just watch
The whole show was fantastic. 'Cause I think it was it was like it was Act Two
It was
versus
this
the
the
Smith Breakers.
yeah, it was a really fun match.
Yeah, Senna
Wasn't
versus
wasn't
Charlie
that when
Brennan.
wasn't that when Tyler turned on Harley as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
And the six way, which was RP versus Brian Aidenson and Dan Evans and Joe Kessler and Joey Hayes and Joseph Connors. That was a great
Oh,
match.
that was when I can't remember if it was Joey Hayes or Joe Kessler. I want to say it was Joey Hayes did that DDT on Kessler on the stage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. He had to be taken off, didn't he?
He got like taken out. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's fucking vile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really fun match as well. Yeah, I'll just put the link to the whole show as a little treat for everyone. Go watch it, Wrestle and subscribe to Wrestle because they're great.
Yeah, and eat the sausage
good
rolls
friends
when
of
you're
the
there.
podcast. Yes. Right. So what is number 10?
Number 10. Where's my notes have gone? There we go. Number 10 is Harley Hudson versus Tyler Adams 2
Was
at
that the
Asylum, Fear the Reaper.
Oh, okay.
And it's the one where Harley lost the belt.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Oh man, the build to this match was huge because it even went into like because he interfered at Extreme Field like in October as well, so it had been going on like all the way through.
I thought the Cobra Kai was when he'd fully
It's when
turned on
he
her.
turned, but he was like obsessed with her when it
Oh,
was
right, but
becoming an issue, like in the
costing her matches.
yeah, because he was just like obsessed with her, so it was like becoming like an issue.
I was going to say this match had like one of the most creative DQ finishes I've ever seen.
Oh my God, how
Oh,
angry were the kids
and Harley.
and Harley as well? Like the finish of like he was gonna hit her and then she just hit the belt. He threw her the belt, didn't she? And then he went to hit her with a chair, so she just threw the belt to defend herself.
Yeah.
Oh, it was heartbreaking. It was so sad. Like that sort of thing where the refs like not get involved, but where the refs like have that like emotional connection to it really adds to a match. And LK did an amazing job.
I was going to say LK did a fantastic job of
Yeah.
where she was like, I'm so sorry, Harley, after she disqualified or before she disqualified her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like Harley just like dropped down in the corner and started crying. It was a roller coaster. This yeah, I as well, the crowd just went like you could hear a pin drop, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, not a pin drop. All you could hear was Cecil like commentating.
Yeah.
But where we were sat, we could hear him clear, like crystal clear,
Yeah.
like Cecil
Because we were
commentating.
all on the side, weren't we? For that,
You
I
were
think
on the side. Me and Ben were a little bit further
further
back.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the
Oh
only
my
ones
God.
where we went like actually sat together.
Yeah. But yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It was so emotional, and it was the whole like Harley like shouting, "Oh, you were supposed to be my friend," and stuff like that. That like just really tugs at your heartstrings.
I love when like the crowd were after the entrance they went quiet, but you know they're like kind of like not quite warmed up yet.
Yeah.
And Harley's just like knocked them over, and she went, "I'm gonna kick his head in," and everyone went, "Yeah!"
Yeah.
And the crowd were like red hot then for the whole match. Yeah, it was a really, really fun match.
I've noticed if it's not Harley inciting violence, it's Harley's mum, which I love. Like
I think I mean she's already having a pretty big year. I think by the end of 2023, a lot more people are going to know who Harley Hudson is.
yeah, she's got a match up coming at Wrestle Atomic on the 2nd of August against Lizzie Evo. I feel like by the end of the year, I'm gonna have an atomic show, like on my match of the year. By the way, they're putting out these shows. But
big matches on the cards, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm hoping by the end of the year I'm actually gonna get to one where it's like I've just been like unlucky with things.
But yeah, that's my number 10.
Yeah, very good choice. Again, I'll probably stick the link to Fear the Reaper here
absolutely. Number 9 is Kota Ibushi versus Speedball at Bloodsport 9.
Gasp.
Shut up.
I am shocked it's this low. I thought this would have been higher.
I know, but there's a lot more happened this year.
That's true. This was very fun though.
Yeah, and how massive was it as well? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like in terms of like,
I'll be honest, I kind of want to see these two have like just a normal match because with it being under Bloodsport rules, it was like it's
very technical. It's
MMA.
Yeah.
Which both guys are fucking masters of.
Yeah.
And they showed this by kicking each other as hard as they could and seeing who died first.
Yeah.
But I think if these two have like an actual one-on-one match against each other somewhere down the road, it'll be really special.
Yeah, absolutely. It really was like let's put Speedball. Let's have Speedball call out Kota, who hasn't been able to kick anybody for like months, and see what happens.
Speedball, who kicks people all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And does it fantastically. This was awesome. They had such good chemistry together as well with the whole like time. Kota cried them at the end with the Kamigoye.
Fantastic.
I think it was one of the only matches that was actually a knockout, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Everything else was
was it that and Coughlin?
Mox Coughlin,
yeah. Maybe that's when he saw all the ghosts because Mox murdered them at Bloodsport.
I mean, if it wasn't that, I don't know what it could be. But yeah, this was tremendous. To be honest, like me and Aaron spoke about this recently, and at the time, Bloodsport's like a low-key front runner for one of the best shows of the year so far.
I think this year and last year's. I think now when it comes to the collective, Bloodsport's the one that I look forward to the most.
Yeah, just because it's different. I miss them doing like the way they did the last year and this year. They're doing this year they did 3 big gay brunches, but last year they did like a big gay brunch, the collective, and then one like all-out weekend. They used to do that with Bloodsport as well, and
I think I'd rather them do that.
I think I'd rather like not against big gay brunch. I'd rather Bloodsport before, just because it's so different to anything else.
Yeah,
or even both. You could easily do like a mini collective.
Do them back to back, just Bloodsport and big gay brunch, big gay Bloodsport. There you go.
And that might be a hate crime, mate.
Bucket Effie.
Yeah, just get Effie and Bloodsport. That'd be fucking wild.
Oh, I'd love that. Yes.
Only
if we get Josh Barnett in big gay brunch.
Josh Barnett's big gay brunch would be a sight to behold.
That's what I need.
That would be a fever dream, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. This match was unbelievable, and the crowd were insanely hot for Ibushi. Like red hot.
Mm-hmm. It's mad that he's only had like 2 matches, including this.
Yeah, he's got GLEAT soon. He's got GLEAT this month.
Blood and GLEAT.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But yeah, it made me do a cry because I was so happy when I watched this match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to more Kota Ibushi, whatever form that may take.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to hunt down the Glee match. I don't even know he's wrestling. I just
Dan will know.
Dan will know. They might not have even announced it, but either way, just
I think
Ibushi.
it's the 19th of July. I'm gonna say something like that. It's very
Oh,
soon.
is it?
Yeah.
It's the 19th of July. You know what else is the
What?
19th of July, don't you, mate?
Yes, I do.
So I'd hope it wouldn't be the 19th of
Oh,
July
so it can't be.
because
Okay. It is in July though.
I feel like it might be the 16th, but either way, it doesn't matter. We'll find out.
We'll have
Um,
Kota in some form in July, and that's what matters.
I feel like Ibushi is probably going to be wiping blood and guts off him either way.
Yeah, obviously.
Um,
Moving on, I have at number 8, Dan Maloney versus Leon Slater at Merseyside Massacre.
yeah, this was a bit good, wasn't it?
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever been more I felt like a proud parent watching Leon Slater.
Yeah. This was the most invested I've got in a like wrestling match where I've been in the crowd for such a long time.
Yeah.
When I was watching it with like me and Big Tasty, we were like stood next to each other, and we were just like at the start, Tasty's like Drill's gonna kill him. I was like, I think it's Leon's time.
Yeah, I think it's Leon's time
As
too.
the match was going on, Tasty was warming to the idea, and by the end, we were both like, it's Leon's time. It's Leon's time.
And it
Um,
was very briefly Leon's time.
yeah.
Um,
Dan Maloney did a load of crimes on Leon.
Leon, yeah, he didn't make it easy for him at all, did he? Like it was like
Did did the driller killer on the apron. Um, and he did a load of other crimes.
yeah, well it was like his like the chops and stuff like that, and Leon just looked like he'd just been like murdered over and over again. But like it was Leon's like aerial assault that driller didn't really seem to have a handle on like countering
Yeah,
a lot of the time, which really worked in Leon's favor because it was like every time driller would like throw him, he'd do like a backflip to get out of like suplexes and all that sort of stuff.
yeah. Um,
But yeah, it was very much like a huge deal. Absolutely loved it. And then it was all too good to be true, which really, really broke my heart.
well, even with the finish, like Driller hit the Driller killer, and then like just Leon, and then Leon just quickly rolled him up.
Yeah, it was
And
brilliant, wasn't it?
I'm not. It was one of the loudest pops I've heard at Hanger for sure.
Yeah,
Um, it it was really was. And yeah, then that's what ruined it.
yeah. And then the thing is with that as well, like, and I'm very invested in this story at the minute, that they've created with this match. But the most heartbreaking thing was when like Alexis made Greenwood give Crowley the belt.
Yeah, yeah. There's so much going on with this story, and it's essentially it just started from like Charles Crowley gaslighting Alexis that she needs to be like an absolute knobhead, and
Yeah,
they'd be like, I don't, I'm good as I am. Um, and yeah, it just really ended up like sadly paying off in this match.
yeah.
Um,
And it was that same vibe as when it was like the Cara Noir and Spike Trevay thing where you went home like hollow. The crowd were
yeah,
not sent home happy.
well, we didn't go home. We went to the pub,
Yeah, that's what we did.
and we were all sat fuming in the grates.
Yeah.
I can't believe that Leon's just been done like that.
Oh,
Um, I, but when Leon does win the belt again, I think because he will,
yeah.
the pop's gonna
Got to,
be
hasn't he?
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that match myself. What is number 7?
Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston at Supercard of Honor.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of heartbreak on my list, have you noticed?
Yeah. Yeah. So this match has got 20 years of history.
That's and it was so beautifully summed up in that video by Joe on Twitter as well. Like,
have you seen the first one as well? Because it's like
no, I'm just
there's the one that they did for Ring of Honor.
so I've seen the Ring of Honor one. I haven't seen the other one.
He'd done one previously, like a couple of years ago. And that's why they got him for that, because Eddie was like, he did this video, it really kind of captured exactly what we were going for.
Right, okay, I'll have to give that
It
one
just
a watch as well then.
it goes a little bit more in depth on what he was touching on in this, but because this obviously like plays in like a lot more like the kind of stuff going on in AW.
Yeah.
But
No, I
yeah,
think I did watch the other one because the other one went really into the Shikara stuff as well, didn't it?
it just focused on Shikara.
I think I might have watched both of them then. But yeah, oh my God, this match broke my heart.
And the thing is, this is definitely just like the first chapter of it within Ring of Honor / AEW.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's what makes it so good, that because Eddie lost, it like even now it's paying off with like Claudio's next challenger, where Eddie was like saying to Mark Briscoe, you need to do this for me, you need to do this for your brother.
Yeah.
And Claudio was like, I shown Eddie why he couldn't, like, his limit. I'm going to show you yours now.
Yeah.
And you know for a fact Claudio's probably going to
Mark Briscoe
win that match by stoppage, and Eddie's going to come out and actually no, Eddie Carney's in the G1 wrestling Evil that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's certainly
so
going to
sad.
be.
Like, it was the fact that Eddie had Claudio so many times as well. In this, like, there was so many moments where you thought Eddie's gonna do it.
There was so many times where Eddie had that match in the bag, and he had to get one more blow on.
It's that fatal flaw of Eddie Kingston, isn't it?
It was almost to the point where instead of like being able to just win, he had to rub Claudio's nose, and he had to like say, see, this is why I'm better. And
yeah,
that's what like Claudio only won by like a roll up.
Yeah, and he knows Eddie though. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, he knows Eddie so intrinsically that he can be like, I can use your weakness against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claudio's completely. A piece of shit.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
Claudio's an absolute piece of garbage.
He is. He's just the worst. But we love him. We love that.
I can't wait for the inevitable rematch of that though.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. Okay, so what's number 6?
6. Kenny Omega versus John Moxley in a cage match at Dynamite on the 10th of May.
Okay. I remember when we found out about this match because we were in the pub.
Yeah. And I was very excited.
Because it kind of just got announced from nowhere, didn't it?
It was mad, wasn't it?
Like, it was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to do Kenny and Mox in the cage next week. He was like, wait, what?
What?
Can't do that. I'm sure that's illegal.
I think you were talking to someone else and I was like, Jay, watch this. And you were like, what? Like someone had died or something.
I think I was like ordering the round at the bar and you just like came like threw your phone at me more or less. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, yeah. Sounds here we go.
Yeah.
Here we fucking go. Yeah, this was I feel like this feud within AEW is kind of like intrinsically linked.
Oh, I love it when they do these
A1. AEW to now.
Yeah, and it's still going on.
Yeah, Kenny and Mox got that kind of like chemistry with one
Fight
another where,
forever thing, haven't they?
yeah, they can always kind of come back to it. Like kind of like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, where they'd always kind of go and revisit that feud every now and again in WWE.
Yeah,
And it'd be like, oh yeah, here we go again. Here we go
yeah.
again. Shit's getting real now.
It's not a case of like, oh well, we fight and then that's the end of it and no one does anything. It's like, no, we're gonna fight. And
Yeah,
then when we cross paths again, we're gonna fight again. And that's always
yeah.
gonna happen.
But I think the thing with this is that like every time they do fight, something meaningful comes out of it.
Yeah.
So like the first one was obviously Mox just making that statement by murdering Kenny in the lights out match. Then it
Yeah.
was the title defense where Don basically helped Kenny win and Kenny turned heel. And it
Yeah.
was obviously
With the Bucks, them bringing the Bucks on side with them, and then it
well,
was Eddie Kingston.
I was gonna say the exploding barbed wire match where
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston
Eddie
basically
Kingston.
ended up turning face as a result of it, and then this one where Don Callis turned on Kenny.
Yeah.
Um, every time these two have a singles match, it feels massive, as it should, because they're arguably the two like kind of
Best at what they do.
two of the franchise players of AEW.
Yeah.
You could argue like Jericho and Punk are the other two as
Yeah.
far as like name value goes, and these two are like the two as far as like the quality of their work and name value go.
Yeah. I would like to see at some point, I don't know if it'll happen, but I would like to see before Kenny retires, them do it in New Japan.
Mox and Kenny.
Yeah.
Oof, I don't know if New Japan would do it, because
If
I feel like they think that the appeal is that they get like one of their guys against Mox or Kenny.
Yeah. I get that, but like for me, I think I'd like that sort of like stiff.
I'd like to see them have a match at Korakuen Hall.
Yes.
Like that would be cool.
Yeah.
But then AEW keep threatening to do a show in Japan with New Japan, so
I think they should do like the third Wrestle Kingdom date.
Yeah.
Like they did the other time.
Is Wrestle Kingdom not just one day next year?
Is it? Okay. That makes it easier for me.
I'm just thinking of what the graphic shown that was shown the other day.
They usually do like other shows directly after anyway, though.
They usually announce if they're doing any kind of extra stuff around the G1 final. So
yeah, that's when the tickets go on sale. Like, well, no, actually, they go on sale more around October, apparently.
Yeah, G1 final is like the first week of August, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, that match was really great. Despite the horrible landing that Kenny had through that cage door.
Oh, where he like V-triggered Mox into the wall and then nearly like broke his leg. Yeah, that was sad. Yeah, this was very, very good. And again,
Danielson on commentary made it even better.
Danielson on commentary was brilliant, where he was playing dumb to the fact that Don Callis had just stabbed Kenny in the head.
I didn't know anything happened. Well, look,
we have no involvement in this.
Yeah,
and celebrating as Callis like hit Kenny again with it.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, this was tremendous. Really fun match. Anything to add before we move on?
Yeah, I can't wait until it happens again. Not right now. I'm okay with it not happening right now. Like, obviously, we've got blood and guts, but I would be okay with them just putting this on the back burner. Another year.
You could just throw it on All Out because they don't need to do much build for it.
Yeah, they could. So yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Scouse and Proud, the team of Harley Hudson and Lizzie Evo versus the She-Wolves, the team of Molly Spartan and Angel Hayes.
This was from the last TNT show.
Going off big time.
Nice. I missed this show, annoyingly. Not knowingly, because I got to go see a really fun gig, but
Oh my God, this match was like Harley used her title opportunity that she won at the Rainbow Rumble to challenge the tag champions with Lizzie. And they came out matching gear and everything. It was lovely. It was so good. But it felt like at the start for the like a big half of the match, it was like they were just preventing Lizzie from getting in. So like
she's
they
been
were really working
roles for like since
forever.
GC weekend last year, hasn't she?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Well, it's before that because it goes up. It comes off from when Lizzie won the championship off Casey Owens, but she like sort of like cheated to win it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of like another like golden thread in the tapestry of TNT, which we all love to see when those things happen. It's like Lizzie and Alexis as well. It's those things that just can circle round to whenever. But this really felt like Lizzie's crowning moment, and to do that with such a favorite like Harley as well, just made it even better. Like it sat so well with the crowd. They were so on side.
Yeah.
Of Harley.
As I said earlier, I think Harley's gonna have a big 22. Like, obviously, she's already having a big 2023, but by the end of the year, it's gonna be massive.
Yeah. Also, Nat having genuine beef with Molly and Lizzie just buzzing off her in the corner was amazing.
I love Nat's beef with the She-Wolves. I don't understand it at all. But I can't remember which show it was. It might have been GCW. Was it? Either way,
no, it was me at the last show where Molly Spartan got in my face.
Oh no.
Molly and Casey.
There was one show,
and then Nat was beefing with Kings of the North at GCW.
There was one show that we were at that weekend, and Nat just went to me, "I fucking hate Angel Hayes," and she never followed up on it at all.
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait, what?" And she just didn't. She say then afterwards, she just went,
She does hate her so much. It was so good.
I think that was the show. No, it was Extreme. It was Extreme Fields.
Extreme Fields.
Just before she turned on Lizzie, she went to me, I fucking hate Angel Hayes. Without any explanation. And then she did that and she'd say,
so smug.
Yeah, she fucking is.
Yeah, no, it was so good. I cried when they won. It was amazing. Please watch this match, Jay, because
I will try and get to. When's it? It's not up on Demand Progress.
Demand Progress. I think it is. Might be. Ask Sarah. She's got Demand Progress. But yeah, this match was just like they were just so in sync, and it was never something that I realized that I wanted until it happened. And I was like, I want this to never end. Like, I don't want anyone to ever take the titles off them.
Yeah. Well, I got some news for you. She-Wolves are taking them back at some point.
No, they're not.
They probably are.
No, they're not. Can't happen. I'll do a sad.
Or a lot of wrestling experience they might do.
Yeah, actually, that's a shout. But yeah, that's what I have to add to that.
I will endeavour to check that out for sure.
Yeah, please do. It was fantastic. If you can actually hear any of the match above me and that, like shouting over everyone else.
Yeah. I mean, the commentary will be DJ King doing that exact same thing too.
Yeah, it's such a vibe.
And he's got a microphone.
Yeah. So, my number 4 is El Hijo de Vikingo versus Speedball at Spring Break 7.
Oh, nice. I liked Speedball's gear for this match.
Yeah, it was so good.
Jin Kazama gear.
Yeah, it was amazing.
As you know, I'm a big Tekken fan, so
You never mentioned
Yeah.
it.
Anytime anyone has tech and theme gear, it gives me a little bit of a pop.
Jinkazan was one of my favorite characters to go on Tekken as well. But this, I think for this, seeing Speedball having to work a bit heel as well.
Yeah.
It was a difference from last year where he was a massive face and then he was just a little shit. Like for the collective weekend, but especially in this match.
Yeah, he has his moments every now and again, Speedball, where he just becomes an absolute monster. And it's like, why? Like, he had a match against Starboy Charlie and he was just doing crime on him for like 15 minutes. Tombstoned him through a door on the floor. Joe was distraught.
That's not a nice thing to do.
But yeah,
not about that life.
One thing I will say, especially because Ryan was there, so I can solidify it with that little fact. Fuck that crowd, because there was times when like Speedball and Vikingo were both trying to do spots like into the crowd.
Oh my god, yes. Moving. I don't think I've ever been more irritated at a crowd in my entire life.
I think this match would have been in my list if it was for the fact they were able to do some of that stuff. But because the crowd just were being... And it could have... I assume part of it was down to the fact that it was a late night show. Everyone had been drinking all day.
Yeah.
But come on. Like, this is a fucking dream match.
It's what you're here for, isn't it? You're there for a wrestling show, so let them wrestle. The wrestler tells you to move, you move. Like, it's that simple.
Also, Ryan was in the crowd, so that adds to the fuck that crowd, because, you know, Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously. Hey, without that, you wouldn't have got to speak to Ibushi.
That's true. If only Aaron was fucking recording it.
I know. But yeah, just that. I think that match for me. I think for how good they both were at that weekend, I think that's why that made it in over the Blake Christian match at ROH for me.
Both guys had really like strong matches earlier that day. Like Vikingo had the match with Commander at Supercard.
Yeah.
And then the two of them must have jumped in a fucking taxi across LA.
Absolutely.
Speedball had been crying by Kota Ibushi. Which is probably why he was healed, because he, you know,
just really angry.
I'd be in a bad mood if Kota Ibushi had Kamigoye'd me.
Yeah,
I'd be
to a knockout.
Imagine that headache, you know? Jesus Christ.
But yeah, this match was really good. I want them to run it back, maybe in Ring of Honor. Is Speedball being in Ring of Honor?
No, because he's signed to Impact.
Well,
GCW could do it again.
Impact could do it again. Vikingo's been on there.
Has he?
Mm-hmm.
Not recently.
No, not recently. But, you know,
I've got a feeling he might have a little bit of a deal with AEW.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either.
He's showing up on TV there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, like two guys who I think are in the argument for rest of the year.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, Speedball's been on a different fucking planet this year. And it's a shame that like he's not more kind of like mainstream, because I think he'd be a lot of people's favorite wrestler if they saw him.
Yeah, 100%. I'm really looking forward to his
and Kenny's also
match at AAA.
Oh, Vikingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this weekend, isn't
it? Is it?
I think so.
Yes. I'm going to get that on Fight if you...
I'm sure it's the 15th.
Nice.
Just wait a couple of weeks. It'll be on. They'll put it up on their YouTube for free.
I want it now. I can't wait. No, I can't.
Do the Mexican thing. Get a dodgy stream.
True. Carney, it's what the Mexicans want.
But yeah, like these two are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely hope they run it back at some point for sure.
For number 3, I have Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh, okay. Okay. Would you be surprised if I told you're the first person to mention this match at all?
Yeah, especially if Tasty's already done his.
Well, guess what?
Oh.
You are.
Wow. Okay. Feel special. To be fair, it's been it's been a hard choice. Like it really, like.
I
But
I think because it's a sequel, it was always going to be a hard like act to follow. So I
see,
feel like and I preferred the first one anyway because I just thought it was more chaotic.
it was, but I think for me in this, I think it was very much like it had everything that I wanted. It felt like for me
That's fair.
personally. And I think it had more story moments rather than just brawling.
You mean to tell me that Eddie Kingston trying to set Chris Jericho on fire last year wasn't a story moment?
I mean, it's a story moment in Eddie Kingston's true descent into madness, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why they got
um,
yo.
yeah, that's why they got
Danielson
called,
did it
yeah.
out of spite because he nearly got set on fire.
Oh, love that. But yeah,
Yeah, this was great. It played off a lot of the sort of like craziness of last year's. Um, I I thought
I
I
hated the
thought
live band. I hated that so much.
yeah, but I think that worked because BCC were the heels in this. Whereas last year, every like when they were just playing the music over the PA and BCC were the faces, and everyone was like upset when they turned the music off because Jericho was like, "No, fuck you guys." Whereas
Yeah,
this year,
yeah.
it's like, well, we've got our band playing um
Over and over again
over and over again,
until he
and
gets super kicked by the Young Bucks, which I
yeah,
thought was fun.
yeah, um, yeah. I think what I liked about this was it started off as like very much like an elite match, and it
Yeah,
devolved into a BCC match very
very
fucking quick.
quickly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, and again, Mox and Kenny across the ring, big story thing happens.
yeah, yeah.
Takeshita does a crime on the amateurs. Um,
It was Hangman instantly going for Mox as well, which I loved,
yeah. Um, yeah, this is cool. Obviously, you had the exploding Jordan, which went viral.
which was amazing.
Uh,
As Mac Jackson's sneaker spots tend to do.
and lest we forget that Wheeler Yuta won by pinning Kenny Omega.
Is that
Uh,
not the Christmas gift we all wanted?
Further proof that the elite are amateurs.
Waiting for that.
Yeah,
um, but yeah, that match was very fun. I loved it. It felt like for me, like it was like here, Faye, here's everything you could want in a match. Take it.
it was a very fun match.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I will not deny that. I, I am genuinely shocked that none of us so far have had it on our list. It was in my honourable mentions, and I was just like, yeah, someone
That's
else
okay,
will have
man.
it. I was like, yeah, someone else can have that. And I
You meant
assumed,
me when you said that.
well, I assumed Tasty wouldn't, and he surprised me and
Yeah,
didn't.
so did I.
Um,
But hey,
but he did. The reason he didn't, um, is because there was another match that was very similar that he had
yeah,
instead.
yeah. No, that's
Um,
fair.
no spoilers on Tasties. Go watch it.
I am
Um,
gonna go watch it after this, actually. Um, oh, sorry. My number two match is Amiga versus Osprey 1 at Wrestle Kingdom 17.
oh, okay, okay. That's only number two. Okay.
So for me, um, this was better than the second one because it felt more.
I think this one laid the groundwork for the second one.
Yeah,
Like
it did.
a lot of the very impactful spots in the second one,
Mirrored the first one.
yeah, they wouldn't have been as impactful if they didn't mirror stuff that happened in the first one, like the DDT
Yeah.
on the steps, the Osprey putting Kenny through the table like Kenny did to Osprey. Um, I think as well, this was a lot more shocking because it was just Kenny going into the Tokyo Dome and murdering Will Osprey.
Yeah, no one expected that either, did they? Like everyone was like, oh no, like
No, um, it's a very like Japanese way of setting up a feud. Like a Noki Vader almost, where this guy from like across the Pacific comes over and just fucking murders one of the top guys. And in this case,
and
Kenny.
walks out.
Yeah. In this case, Kenny comes in, murders Will Osprey, and then fucks off with the belt for like 6 months.
And murders him so clean as well. Like no.
Yeah, it was like
no involvement from outside.
80-20, wasn't it?
Yeah.
United Empire were just stood there looking sad at ringside.
Yeah.
Aussie Open was so upset.
The more like the more checking on Will, like genuine concern when Will was like busted open as well. And Kenny was just like, no, move. I need to murder him again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this, for me, this was the better one anyway, but it was like, that's like choosing between like a cut of steak, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do I want a filet mignon, or do I want a fucking Chateaubriand, you know what I mean? It's like really fucking good, really premium cuts of steak, but at the same time, it depends on my mood. It's just a very good story they're telling this year. I think it's kind of a coin toss between this and something else for feud of the year as well.
Yeah.
And
do you want my number one spot?
Go on then. Go on if you don't want to talk about it more.
No, because I'll take forever. Like genuinely, I will just sit here and talk about like how happy that match made me. Because I took like time off work to watch that match. I had booked leave because I was just so excited to see Kenny back in New Japan. But I went in so fully.
I didn't, but it was on my lunch break, so I was all right there.
Yeah. But it was very much like okay, we're going to talk about this now. But like it was very much like I'm going in, I'm expecting Will Osprey to win. There's no way they're going to let Kenny win. Like, why would they? You know, like, and then they did, and I was like, oh my God, I have never been happier. I
thought they'd run it back a Forbidden Door. I just didn't know how they were going to get there. And I was like,
well, they could have gone it either way, to be fair. Like,
yeah,
like it's fine.
I thought they were going to try and set up maybe like the Elite versus United Empire off it.
Yeah, mad that never happened.
There was so many different ways they could have done it, and obviously that Elite United Empire match from last year was what started.
It was fantastic,
and it's what started off Kenny and Osprey's like proper feud.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I say, it was the way it was done and the way it's being delivered. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued as to how they're getting it all in now.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, that's definitely happening at all in.
It's got to, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Even Will, like even if you still keep it on Will, and I'd understand if he did that, I think Will needs to beat him clean.
Well,
without the help of Dom.
Yeah. He more or less did, other than that, like one little bit where he got the screwdriver.
But it's like without the help, you know what I mean? Like at all, he needs to like do it off.
Yeah.
Off his own merit.
I wouldn't be surprised if they ran this to Wrestle Kingdom. Or if not Wrestle Kingdom, maybe like did a rematch at like Full Gear or something.
I think I'd like to see it back in Japan.
That's because you're going.
I think maybe, yeah, I know. Well, this is the thing, like the book said, didn't he, when they got interviews, and I don't know if they're standing by this, but like in like January when they were in an interview and they were like, we couldn't make it this year, obviously, because they had like holidays and stuff booked. And he said, well, might show up next year. They could even do like the Elite versus UE at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
New Japan loves the multi-man matches.
They do, but I think the money match would be
the singles. You could do them. You could do the Bucks versus Aussie Open though.
That said, there's no real like There's no real good tag teams in New Japan at the moment, is there? Like,
oh my god, let's have Thriller Murder the Bucks. It'd be great.
like for the heavyweight though, like there's not the heavyweight division's
No,
full.
no. Yeah,
The OD are meh. Well,
non-existent.
where the fuck are GOD at the moment? They've
Yeah,
vanished.
exactly.
They're both in the G1 though. Yeah, there's no one really there.
No.
So I can understand why they don't use the books, but I think Kenny's makes a fucking hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah, yeah.
That said, just do Bucks Aussie Open. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Right. What is the number one match of the year for you, Faye?
Moxley v Hangman, Texas Death.
Oh wow!
Revolution.
I mean, I should have guessed that because you never had anything else. You never had it anywhere else, I should say.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming. I'm not gonna lie.
Took me a while to like get my ducks in a row, to be honest.
There's a match I'm genuinely shocked you haven't picked, which we'll get to after we spoke about this.
Okay.
But this was phenomenal.
Wasn't it though? Like it had Moxley at his worst Mox as well, like his most unhinged Mox.
Well, the thing was, like it's with it being a Texas death match, it kind of differentiates it from like your regular run-of-the-mill death match because all the big spots in this match were shocking.
Yeah.
Like with a death match, and this is nothing against death matches because as we both know, we're big fans of death matches.
Yeah.
After a while, you kind of get desensitized to the violence.
Yeah, yeah. It has to be something really fucked up for you to be like, oh my god.
Well, with this, like when it did get really violent, it got like shockingly so. Like
yeah,
that bit where Mox did the curb stomp on the bricks
to his fingers.
And then like when Hangman like hit Mox in the face with a fucking brick,
and the dead eye as well, just like
and then dead eyed them onto the bricks, and it was just like, the fuck are you doing, lads? And then the finish like was just like Hangman trying to murder John Moxley with a chain,
and Mox tapping for the first time ever.
First time in AEW. But yeah, it really when it again it was the same kind of thing as the lights out match with Kenny, where when they took it to that next level, it was like, oh fuck me, okay, we're going here, and it was always like
it was nice to see Mox dragging these baby faces to like the darkest depths of like them. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you're gonna have to find yourself on my level.
Hangman's already kind of like skirting the line.
Yeah. Like, and he has been since the Cole match where he could do it. Like he couldn't hit Adam Cole with the chair, but he could murder John Moxley with a brick and a chain.
I'd say like since tagging with Kenny when he thought about turning on.
Oh yeah.
Like Hangman's been ready to turn heel so fucking much. And
mate, don't get me started.
They've got it at the point where he could just like that.
Yeah.
Like, and it would make sense. So I mean he's out of like Kenny in the books and Hangman. I think other than Kenny, maybe he's the one who's most logically going to go to that like depth of depravity with John Moxley.
I think Hangman's got it. Obviously, like you've got to throw now. You can throw it back to how he was in Ring of Honor and stuff like that. Now that they can reference that properly,
just show a video of him crying and Chris Sabin.
Exactly. Well, it's like it's that, isn't it? But like people who only watch AEW don't see that, so it's kind of like it's like the real like because he's had that moral thing, but for him to throw that away, what makes him like this anxious millennial cowboy, and then just be because when he's heel, he's quite confident. He doesn't doubt himself.
Well, it's because of the Bucks and Kenny gaslighting him that he's not underconfident.
Yeah.
that he needs them. He doesn't need them. He's fucking
I mean,
better
he
without.
certainly needs someone other than Dark Order at the minute, doesn't he?
Oh, you take that back. But yeah, he it, the as I say, that even like the little things with this where it was like after the match and going to Renee and going, is he all right?
Oh man, for like
Like
3 weeks.
he had a conscience, and we haven't even spoke about his entrance.
The red and black,
Like Ghost Rides in the Sky was badass.
Yeah, they should have got Orville Peck's cover of it. That was my only criticism of
That version was fucking great.
But
I felt that version suited Hangman more for what he was about to do, because it was like a bit more of like a sort of like,
this is a last stitch attempt.
Yeah, it was a lit. I'm trying to think of the word, not gritty, but
like a swan song, even though it wasn't.
Little bit more rustic.
Yeah.
Shall we say? But yeah, this was a fucking awesome match. I love
and
this
then
match.
For that to like follow on from that as well, but then not to be like Mox being like, "Oh, you think that was over it? You think that's it? No, we're not done."
That was literally like pouring fucking gasoline on the fire with Mox.
Yeah. It was like, "Oh, you want to go there? Like, is that what you want to do?"
It like awoke and like murder demon Mox, which is like, you never want to wake in that. Yeah, I hope we get a rematch of this, because I think genuinely that this might have been both men's best match in AEW.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've both had fantastic matches in AEW. But I think
when John Moxley and Eddie Kingston happens, I think that's gonna fucking might knock that off for Mox. But
yeah, see. I mean, Mox and Kingston already has, and it was very, very good.
But I mean, like if they did like not a Texas Death, but if they did like a last man standing.
Well, they did the I Quit match, didn't
they? Yeah.
Where Eddie was like about to die because he wouldn't quit.
Sounds like Eddie.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's these two just seem to have some kind of like intangible, don't they? That when they're together,
been dancing around it for so long as well.
Like, yeah, like in that ladder match when Mox was about to turn heel and they had the stare down and everyone lost their fucking mind. And booed Mox as well. Like, interesting. And then obviously when the match got announced, it was like, oh shit, that's going to be fucking huge.
Yeah.
And they managed to like kind of salvage like an unfortunate ending of a match where Hangman got accidentally KO'd to then turn it into this masterful storyline. To lead.
That's one of the best storylines like ever. I think it's been fantastic.
Well, it's kind of bled into the kind of Elite and Hangman stuff, and almost like fused like BCC and the Elite onto that, as well as like another chapter of that story.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Hangman's needed this for so long as well. Like he's needed like an existence after the belt.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that they didn't need the belt involved in this, and obviously
no, not at all.
It was only one title match, wasn't it? And then Hangman got hurt and then came back. But yeah, I think, and I said this to you earlier in the year, I think they could have just run this feud without any of the BCC and Elite stuff. Just Hangman and Mox, they could have ran the year.
Yeah.
Because it still felt exciting. Obviously, after Texas Death, it's like, well, that's kind of like that's like the nuclear option. Would the only way to go forward will be blood and guts, which makes sense why they've done it this way. But
I think
certainly
the next time one of them holds the championship, which to be fair, I think they both will again at some point.
Yeah, Hangman for sure.
Yeah.
Mox, I assume he will, because it's Moxley.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you could run that back then.
One another.
Yeah, or a last.
If they wanted to do the switch as well. I mean, it'd be a great story. It'd be great if they just fucking hot potato between the two, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, if they had
Do that
Hangman,
and then have
Hangman win
Mox
it,
get beat
defend
by
it, Mox be like the kind of spectre waiting to.
that'd be good. Have you got the poker chip?
Yeah, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, we could be here for hours planning this out. So I'm
Over
gonna
drinks.
an audible here, and we'll do it over drinks at some point. So that's been your top 10. That's a very good list, and there's a few
Thank
things I
you.
need to. I've seen most of them. There's a few things I do need to go and have a little revisit of because I can't remember them quite that well. There's a few things that I've not seen, so that's a nice little list. Before we wrap this up,
Go on. What's the match
I'm
that I
gonna
missed off?
surprise mother. Oh, MJF Danielson.
I
I'm
almost put that in, but I figured someone else
Um,
would, so I just kind of left it off.
Oh yeah, me and Tasty both had it.
Yeah, there we go.
But also before we wrap it up, I'm gonna surprise motherfucker here like I did Big Tasty and Aaron. I've got a quick fire round, so I'm gonna get you on the spot right
Okay.
now. So overall wrestler of the year.
Oh my God. For me, Kenny Omega.
Okay, in that case, because you've said Kenny is your overall, who's your women's wrestler of the year?
Holly Hudson.
Nice. Tag team or faction of the year so far?
Oh, it's a tie between the Elite and VGS, just because I've been having fun with VGS so much. But yeah.
VGS, because the Elite are amateurs. Promo or best talker of the year so far?
Promo. I think I've got to give it to Mox.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a coin toss between Mox and Eddie, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Although Ricky Starks is sneaking in there and Juice Robinson.
Yeah.
Favorite pay-per-view of the year?
Revolution.
And feud of the year so far?
Oh, Elite BPCC.
There we have it. Right, on that note, now we are actually done.
There we go.
Thank you for joining us in a bumper episode of this, because me and Faye can talk for fucking hours. It's almost like we're friends. If you want to catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, we are Untitled Wrestling Podcast. Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. And Threads. Apparently, we got that. Twitch, Twitter, and Discord, Untitled Rest Pod. Yeah, be sure to check out all the other videos, like, share, subscribe. Let us know in the comments below what your matches of the year so far are. And if there's any that you feel like you agree with, any you missed out, always just be nice though. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.